I'm actually make it extra exciting for you guys with tons of value. I'm actually make it extra perfect. So live on YouTube, live on Zoom, and live on Discord. Let me just check my Discord. Okay. Yeah, so few people in there. We'll see if I'll continue doing like lives on Discord or just keep them on Zoom. Okay, I see another person just joined in. Welcome in. All right, let's go ahead and get started here. First off, so overview, what we're going to be doing today is going over an analysis of the charts. You'll be able to see, and you can ask me questions if you have any questions on uh, maybe there's a currency pair that you want me to analyze. Maybe it's something in stocks, something in crypto. Today, inside of the Zoom, if you actually see, I changed my picture to the XRP logo. It's kind of a reason for that. Now, I'm not going to tell you what to do with your money, but XRP going to the moon, going to the moon. Today was actually a pretty big pump going on. Let me actually check. I think there was about a 10% growth today. Ooh, actually even more, almost 12%. Um, yeah, I had an alert at 2.5, $2.05, and it definitely surpassed that. Now it's at 2.82. Expected to go much further. I would say probably at least in the fives. I know there's some people, you'll see it on the social media stuff probably that some people say that it'll possibly go to like 10,000. For it to go to 10,000, the market cap would have to be crazy, crazy high. So uh, I would say a minimum five it would reach to. Uh, but yeah, so if there's any questions, just let me know. I'm going to start off with the analysis of charts. Then I'm going to go into part of the training and going into some of my setups today, which I was able to. There was a few really good ones for today. Today, I was trading a lot of NQ, the Nasdaq, and I'll show you guys some setups on how I was able to catch some 1 to 11 risk to reward. So if you were to risk, let's say $100, you could have made 1,100 on that trade. Um, so yeah, there was a few really good ones. One was 1 to 11. One was like 1 to 8. Uh, yeah, I'll go over some of my breakdowns today. And yeah, let me see. Oh, and just quick announcement. So I am starting to incorporate live sessions in the mornings. So at 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Around 6 a.m. That's the time that I'll be on. So usually I'm on around 5 a.m. my time, but uh sometimes at like 5 a.m. I'm waking up. I know markets just open. Uh so I get my coffee in, do my whole routine, make sure I look at the charts, and usually I won't spot anything to get in on right at 5 a.m. But usually like around 6 a.m. that's when I'll be on. So I'll just turn on the Discord and do it live. I'm actually doing those just on Discord. I'm not doing like any Zooms or anything. Um, but yeah, tune into those live tradings at around 6 a.m. Pacific Standard. There's actually, I see someone in here that was in the live. It was Andrew Kavari. Should I second your last name? Kavarubias? Kavarubias? I know he posted inside of the chat when I was going live. He also made some money with me as well. I think it was like, if I'm not mistaken, it was 200 at the time that you posted the screenshot, but it dropped even more. It was at 1 to 11 play there, so I believe you should have made some more money, more than I think it was like closer to 300 that you made on that trade. But yeah, let me know in the chat how much you made off that trade. I'm just curious. Um, but yeah, let's get started here. So first off, let's look at the Forex calendar, see if there's any high impact news happening. This morning there was for the USD. Uh, it was negative for the dollar, which actually caused stocks actually uh, dropped. No, sorry, this is for the PPI. It was positive on the dollar. Uh, yeah, so we have GBP, CPI. Previous was 2.6. Forecast is 2.6. So we're going to see this is going to be at 11 p.m. So I'm going to be analyzing a couple of the GBP pairs, mainly GBP USD. Uh, I would say probably like GBP JPY as well. Uh, yeah, we'll be analyzing the GBP pairs for the London session. And then we have tomorrow morning, we have USD news, so CPI, really good news happening. Only thing I don't like is that there's three folders all at the same time. So they could be like mixed, like one could be positive, one could be negative, and that can kind of change our bias on the US dollar. So going to be checking that out. And then later on, there will be at 4:30 p.m. Pacific Standard, we have odd news, and then 11 GUP. So tomorrow's pretty big day. Lots of high impact news happening. If you notice, I'm not caring for the low impacts, medium impacts. I don't really care too much to add those on. Just the high impacts. So I'll be checking those out. Um, Before I forget, let me just open the chat here. Oh, I see Angel's message. How's it going? Doing well, man. Here, that's crazy. Got people from islands watching your Technical Tuesday. Yeah. Actually, I forgot to check the island. Let me see what the island is. And Andrew, I just saw your message. Haha, great trade. I bought in and made over 1K. That's awesome, man. That is awesome. That NQ or yeah, it was NQ, not ES. That just tanked. It was insane. But if you see the precision of that trade, that's kind of what I'll be going over today. For those live sessions, I don't talk at all. I actually keep my mic muted because it's hard for me to focus. And I mentioned that inside of there as well, is that I don't keep my mic on. Promise it's me. It's just that's the only way I can focus is if I'm not talking. Because I can just keep talking and talking and it can get me distracted from what I'm focused on, which is a chart. So I need to stay hyper focused. Um, So yeah, if you were to join into the lives and you wanted to do trading with me, you could, if you have like two monitors, maybe have me on one monitor and then have your charts or your trading on the second monitor, like Andrew did. I believe Andrew, you did it through your phone. Um, so you're probably watching on like a computer and then on your phone placing trade or something. Um, yeah, that's awesome. One grand on that trade. Yeah. So, anyways, let me look at that just a little bit of sidetrack. Let's go into Mauritius Island. Mauritius Island. Oh, Beautiful island. Okay. Mauritius, where are you? Is that correct? You who was that? Farhan, I believe. Okay, said yes. So it's in Mocha District, Port Louis. Where? Oh, shoot, you are in the Indian Ocean by Madagascar. Holy shit. Yeah, you are far. I believe you close to Maldives because I was just in Maldives and shit, I suck on this side of the continents. It's not sure where the Maldives at, but I know Indian Ocean. Oh, here we go, Maldives. Yeah, sounds okay. Yeah, so you are on that side of the world. Holy shoot. Crazy story. First time in Maldives. I thought I can take the sun. It was the first time experiencing like that Indian sun or this side of the world sun, and I regret not wearing sunscreen. And I was out there, sunbathing, and it was just insane. I got the worst suntan. My skin was peeling to the point where like there was blood showing, and it was just super bad. That was really bad. Um, yeah, that's awesome. It's awesome. You're far away. I bet it's like morning time over there. I know we have a few people from like different. Okay, so you said 7:20 a.m. It's, yeah, close to Maldives. Yeah, it looks like a beautiful island. I definitely gotta check it out. I just never heard of it. Not sure how it's like for like tourists there. Um, yeah, we'll definitely save that as a potential spot. Actually, for 2025, one of the things that I plan on doing is I'm going to be in Dubai for possibly about 6 months, maybe up to a year. Uh, and during that time, I'm planning on traveling as well. So I'm bringing my daughter too, so I'm not sure how that's going to work. We've done a couple of travel destinations. We went to Hawaii, um, and it was fine, but we had like assistance with like my mother-in-law. Um, but yeah, in Dubai, we're gonna have like maids and nannies and stuff. Uh, but yeah, we're planning on going to like Paris and like different places around that side of the world. So possibly like Africa, like Cape Town area. But yeah, we're gonna see what it's like. We as of now we don't have an itinerary or anything created. We're just kind of like a free for all type thing. Um, but yeah, that's awesome. Let's go ahead and get started here. Let me just check the chats here because I know we have different ones. Cool. Okay. Um, let me just check on YouTube, see if there's any messages. Someone said, "What is the algo you provide on YouTube?" Um, we'll just go. Just one last sidetrack here is so this is the main algorithm that we have, the hedge fund algo. Uh, this one does require kind of bigger balances. Even though if right here it says minimum you could do is 500, yes, you can, but it's going to be like one pair and it's going to be really slow and really not worth it if you have small capital. It's going to be more worth it for people with larger capital, so 5K or higher. I would say even like 20K or more is going to be better. Just because with 20K or more, you can run all 23 currency pairs at the same time. So So yeah, you can go to hedgefundalgo.com, kind of get some more information on there. Uh, but yeah, that's about it there. That's the main algorithm. I have like another algorithm that's released, but that one's just mainly on gold. And that one's more of a newer one, so I'm not gonna go with that. Just this one here. Okay, now let's go ahead and get started. So GBP news, real fast. Let's look at what we got for GBP. So I'm going to start off with looking at the daily. Actually, I'll go out to the weekly. Okay. So definitely strong bearish momentum going on. We do have like a stall on the weekly there. If you see, it's kind of an indecisive candle, and usually with indecisiveness, that means that there could possibly be that it's going to reverse. Um, and usually mid weeks, that's when you could notice some reversals. So let's see the daily as well. Yesterday's candle indecisive, previous day indecisive. So just overall indecisive. I see broke below the support, but we have some other levels of support down here to keep in mind. So just looking at this, just look at RSI here real fast. Okay. So far, nothing clear that I'm seeing here. Let me just check one last thing. Yeah, so overall, we're bearish on GBP UST. I can see it potentially go up into this level and then sell. So yeah, this entire box here, it's going to go down. Gonna zoom in some more. Okay. So yesterday's London and New York didn't really do much. I know yesterday I made some decent amount with this short sell right here. I sold at the close of this hour right here, and I was aiming for 20 pips, so quick and easy. Quick and easy 20 pips on this trade. Um, yeah, that's mainly from a session break that happened right here. So it broke below Asian low right during London session and just dropped down. Um, but yeah, and by the way, part of this strategy right here is if you look into it, it's called orb. Um, anyone familiar with orb strategies? It's kind of something that I'm going to be covering over later in some training, but basically looking at session lows, session highs, and seeing where breakout happens, where momentum is headed towards. Like if you see here during Asian session, we see it reached this high over here, and then real strong sellers pushed in, price dropped down, closed below Asian low, and then just continue to drop. Um, yeah, it's kind of like a basic overview of what orb is there. Um, I see your message here. You said RSI divergence on daily GBP USD and Euro USD. Just check that real quick. I guess it just depends on what type of divergence you're looking at. Oh, I see. Between like, no, maybe if you're looking at a different period, but maybe if you're on the 14 period, I'm not sure if that's the one you're looking at. Just gonna look. Mine's the 5. I'm not sure exactly what you're looking at, but anyways, yeah, RSI to me on bigger time frames, it's a little not too important for RSI. I'm mainly looking at that on the on like the smaller time frames, like hourly or 4 hour, maybe sometimes like the daily, but usually like smaller time frames, like hourly. Um, like over here when it was doing the double top, clearly that's not showing exactly what it's showing up here. So um, divergence and then price drop down. Uh, yeah, but besides like indicators, we try not focusing too much on the indicators and more looking at the price action, right? So so looking at GBP USD, you just think prediction. Go back here, CPI. Mm, you spot that double bottom, 1, 2. We're up here, triple top, one. I mean, not triple top, head and shoulder, left shoulder, head, right shoulder, and then reversal. Anyways, I don't analyze and use that way, but that's just kind of a random thought there. So 2.6, previous was 2.6, so it's kind of stagnant there for CPI. We'd have to see how that gets released, but a potential strength for the dollar, which I mean the GBP, which can cause this to rise up some more. I'm just remove every and all indicative. So looking at the overall like price action, we do have a higher low. So higher low right now, this high right here is kind of next to its previous high over here. So it's kind of in that area where it's ready to break on the upside, just based off of what I'm seeing here. We see already a strong push happening. Um, I know long term we see it dropping down, but if we like, if we follow this trend line here dropping down, it's already broken that trend line and kind of showing signs that it's going to start pushing up. So I would say more looking for like a bullish um, momentum to happen for GBP. Like even looking at smaller time frame, like hourly, like if we look closely here, we see it's like coming higher and higher. Like right now, this is like that higher low that's pushing up. So like this is most likely going to go up to this level there. Um, but yeah, let me just look at a couple more things. Mm, I would say the easiest way to determine if you don't look at the news to determine whether it's going to be going up or down is waiting for price to break above these areas here. So especially since like Asian session and New York session highs are around the same areas, Uh, I would want to wait for a clear upside break and then continuation like that. So break, retest, and continuation. So I would just kind of eye this real closely and keeping in mind that there's areas of resistance here, then areas of resistance up there. That's the only thing I don't like about this play here is there's strong levels of resistance up here. So, so yeah, as of now, something to be aware of. Let's check out GBP, JPY. And if there's any other pairs that you want me to analyze, just let me know in the chat. Check if there's any messages. Okay. Welcome in, Marge. See you join in on Discord. Okay, so GBP, JPY kind of showing the same thing, equal highs, Asian, London. I mean, Asian and no, this is London and New York. London, New York, equal highs. So just from what I'm seeing here, showing basically the exact same thing. So it's kind of like that break retest right here, and then it's like pushing up right now. So currently in the uptrend. Now, if we see negative impact for GBP during the news release, then we're going to like, I would say mainly looking at the Asian session range because that release is happening about an hour before the London session. Yeah, exactly an hour before London session. So checking an hour before London session and then looking at this Asian range and then just kind of determining where's the high and low before that news release, and then you can get in. You can get in based off of the break below or the break above that Asian range. Okay. So you can have long positions above the range and then short positions below. And then you just kind of follow it as it trends up towards like levels up here. Or levels down here. Okay. All right, got a chat. Farhan said last night I've analyzed recent CO2 reports, and some institutions have increased their short positions in the medium term on the DXY, but still got the long positions for the long run. Okay, so for that CO2 report, which website are you using exactly to get an idea? And which bias exactly? Because I know there's like the non-commercial large speculator report, and then there's the commercial, login. See when it does. By the way, quick tip for you guys is oh, I don't even have to save it. One second, we log in. Oh, you look at CFTC. Options. I have to check that out. I haven't. So, let me see. Canadian dollar long. Open interest. Anyway, so I'll usually go to this website here for those COT reports. And I see why it's not logging in, but log in this way. Okay. So non-commercial large speculators, that's usually what I'll look for is non-commercial. And then going down, scrolling down, down. Where is it? So right here, currencies, US dollar, so positive change. But this was COT reports of last Friday. It's released on Friday, right? By the way, on the fundamentals for me personally, like I know this is this is more sentimental analysis, so it's not really fundamental or technical. Um, More like sentimental based off of what the bigger players are doing here. But US dollar positive. Let's look at GBP, British pound. So um, negative in their positions. Yeah, so I personally haven't really got into like a whole lot of sentimental analysis. My main thing is like technical and fundamental. I do mix a little bit of sentimental, but I try not to like have analysis paralysis, you know, to trading. Like I try just focusing on what works, what has been working for me. But if you have some good pointers, just let me know. But so far, I see you look at CFTC websites. This one's actually pretty interesting right here. This report right here. This looks like like a, s- a stock analysis report. But yeah, see total traders. Anyways, back to where we were at. So yeah, we'll have to see what's going to happen with GDP news, whether it be positive or negative, and then going towards that momentum. Something that I would do, and getting a little bit into some training here, is I'll look at really small time frames. If you can see right here, I have 15-second pulled up. Um, the 15-second pull up, and I'll kind of look at momentum and see where there's lots of volume in the market and where price is expected to go. So I'll analyze what's happening with the news, but then I'll see, okay, because sometimes what happens is the news is positive. Let's say it's positive for the US dollar. I mean the GBP. So if it's positive, this should be going up, right? But sometimes the news is positive and we see it drop down. And that's usually not supposed to happen, right? When there's positive news, it should be going the opposite way. So what I'll do is I'll look at this and I'll be like, okay, it should actually be going the other direction. So then I'll go to smaller time frames, like let's say the 1 minute, and I'll see it drop down, and I get like trend line, and I'll catch that area of a breakout, and I'm placing buys on the opposite direction of where it should actually be. I put my stops down here uh, at this low, and then just catch it on the opposite direction. Yeah, I'll be looking at the really small time frames to catch those. Uh, but yeah, so that's pretty much that's my analysis right now for GBP is I don't know. I do not know. Let me look at Euro GBP, see what we got here. We may notice some divergence here. We go to the 4 hour. Okay, so Euro GBP has some divergence. This is showing highs like that. So that means there should be some strength in the US, I mean the GBP, strength in the GBP, which will bring this price down. Overall, it's in an uptrend, but yeah, we may notice that drop coming down and aim for targets here, here, here. Three targets right there. So Euro GBP looks pretty good so far. Just looking at this, let me. We have the three up top, which is perfect. We don't have a clear reversal pattern, which is not too good there. But if I go more down, we may notice a couple of things. So definitely, we have that ranging area here. So I'm just going to get the highs, lows, and I'll say about there. So either it's going to break towards the upside. If it breaks towards the upside for areas like this, we usually see a distance from this high to this low. Expect it to go up like that or drop down like this. So based off of what I see, I think there's going to be some strength in the GBP, and that's going to drop this down. So keep that in mind. Okay. So we had target one, then target two, target three. So yeah, I'll just do this here. I know a lot of my analysis, if you look at a lot of these technical Tuesdays, there's recordings on YouTube. If you look at a lot of these technical Tuesdays, a lot of these analysis that I do usually play out like I'll look at I'll pull up a couple of the previous ones. I don't do too many posts on TradingView, but I will just pull it up so you can see. Oh, I always have a hard time looking at where. There we go. So oh, this was December 30, 1 to 11 trade right here. I actually caught another 1 to 11 trade today. Um, yeah, that was at 1 to 11 right there. Yeah, 1 to 11.7. So 11.7 right there, and it dropped even more. But yeah, so I think it was it this one I did on the technical Tuesday? I believe it was this one on tech Tuesday. But yeah, a lot of these plays play out, but depending on what the news release happens, we may not notice this trigger right here, but we couldn't during news release see a trigger and then start aiming for take profit one, take profit two, and just I would say take profit two would probably be the lowest it dropped down to. For take profit three, it would have to break this level of a support trend line and then come through. But if it breaks below that trend line, you should notice this happen. So I would say it's probably going to do this, 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 this. Just from looking at my analysis, that's what I think. And what I've seen happen many times, that usually happens just like that. Retest this major area where there has a lot of movement from here. Either it's dropping down or it's breaking up. So, so yeah, let me check if there's any messages. No messages. Let me check YouTube. ZW888 said, is the 197 a month package a good way to start out with signals? I'd love to get the automation software down the road. Yeah, so it is, so you're referring to the elite plan. And just to give you an overview of the back end so you can get an idea of what you're getting yourself into. Um, I'll get through that there, but you also say another message. How many confirmations do you recommend before entering a trade? 3 or more confirmations is usually my reasoning behind getting into a trade. Okay, so trend direction on bigger time frames, getting down to the smaller time frames, like yeah, but 3 or more is usually what I'll look for. Um, and tech, mainly price action. So not so much indicators, mainly price action. There's certain indicators that I do use that they're they're price action based. So it's not really like moving average, like crossovers and stuff like that, because those could lag. Um, it's more like actual like understanding the market. Um, the trend lines do work perfectly. It's the resistance and support. Yeah. ZW. Okay, so perfectly. You're still on YouTube. Awesome. I've been working off the 4-hour and 1-hour time frames. I've been using minimal indicators. Perfect. Yeah. So actually, uh, I like the bigger time frames, but I love the smaller time frames better because the small time frames, especially if you're like intraday trading or session trading, the smaller time frames are going to be what can get you a better entry, a better entry, and yeah, like you can get better entries on smaller time frames than you can on bigger time frames, and bigger time frames could take a little bit longer. So like I have some methods that require the 1 hour only, and I have some methods where it's like the 15-minute and below. So 15-minute, 5-minute, 1 minute, and then even down to like 15 seconds. Um, I was actually doing a lot of the 15-second trading for NQ this morning, and I did a little bit yesterday, but yesterday there wasn't too much movement happening. Uh, but Friday, like I was doing a lot of 15 seconds. Yeah, usually I'll do like smaller time frames for my trading. Uh, but I'll look at the bigger time frame to kind of give me an overall like what is happening up there. And if there's any major level of support or resistance that it's at, that's what I'll look at the bigger time frame for. So like if I look at Euro GBP right now, let me go to the weekly. So yeah, I'd actually say this is a strong level where price pushed up into here and then sellers just pushed the price back down just from that area there. But that's not the main thing I'm looking at. I'm looking at more of areas of multiple touches. So say like a general area is going to be like about here. The price is already kind of above, but I do think that we may see a wick. So we're still midweek, right? So we may see a wick and it's not going to close above. Right now the candle is above, but the week hasn't closed. So we have to see how the week closes. And then we can determine, okay, week didn't close up here, it closed midway. You see, that's like a long-term play. Like so it may close down here. And then after that, that's when we could start noticing like longer term reversal, which may take months, maybe a month, maybe 2 months. Yeah, in this case over here, this wick that happened right here all happened in 1 week. 1 week, it just shot all the way up and brought the price back down. So definitely this area is a strong level of resistance for the weekly time frame, and then you can get daily area. See, this area right here where we see this volume, um, I actually get into this right here for this training, and actually this is going to be available inside of the elite area. Right now it's not available yet, but it should be within this week, probably even by tonight. We'll see if I have some time to get this uploaded and everything. But yeah, so this volume right here, what this is indicating is this area right here, this area right here made the price shoot down and just keep shooting down, right? It gave all this volume from this area to go all the way down here, okay? And then this right here, it created a box. It doesn't create the box instantly. It creates it after it recognizes that there's volume that pushes the price in the opposite direction, right? So something about this area here made the price go up, right? So right now it's in a major area of like resistance. The way to see it and the way that I like looking at it is supply and demand. Okay. Um, so yeah, there's a lot of supply up here and a lot of demand down here. And yeah, if it breaks above or below these levels, that's when we start noticing. Like you can see right here, it says break below this support. So it said that like over here in this area, so it broke below and then price dropped down a bit. Then it came up like resistance, then it dropped down to this level of support. But something about this level made the price shoot up, right? So then here, this level of support shot up to this resistance, and then kind of like consolidating around this area here. And then that was the initial breakout right here. So that was a break towards the upside, and you can target like a next level, which is all the way up here. So now that it's at this level, we may notice that depending if it breaks above or if it rejects. If we notice rejection, then we can expect it to possibly go down to this level down here. Okay. So this is a daily time frame. So, this could be a week, 2 weeks to reach all the way down here. So I'm not holding trades for that long. As of now, I'm not like a long-term investor like that. I would prefer getting in for like today. Like I want my money today. I don't want it in a week from now. Especially if you're doing like, let's say 1 to 3 risk to reward, and you're risking 1% per trade. And this whole trade takes it takes a week for you to hit your 3% target. Let's say it hits your loss and it might take a week to hit your loss, stops halfway and then reverses on you, and then you lose the 1%. That entire week you made negative 1%. To me, that type of trading sucks. That's why I would prefer day trading on smaller time frame. Intraday, like session trading. I'm looking at sessions. I'm looking at what's happening down here. So knowing that there's strong level of resistance up there in the bigger time frame, that gives me my analysis to get in for shorts and catch the highs. It's hard to catch the highs, but if you know what you're doing, you can catch it. Yeah. We are approaching 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so I don't want to extend this session too long. But I would say we're going to be going for about maybe max another 30 minutes is going to be the max. I'll try to aim for 15 to 30 minutes. Uh, so that makes sense. Awesome information. Definitely looking to join the elite subscription next week. I've been trading Euro USD and it's been a solid downtrend for a few weeks. By the way, if you plan on joining, which you said you plan on joining, use the code 2025. Right now we have a promotion going on for like the New Year's. And it's expected to expire by the end of January. So 2025, it will give you 25% off, just to help you out there. Use code 2025. To go to the website, just go to wap.com/, market dash masters dash leet. I'll post it in the chat as well. Post it on the Zoom and the tech and the YouTube. I've been trading Euro USD and it's been in a solid downtrend for a few weeks, starting to understand the story of the chart. Story of the charts tell. Yeah. Yeah, when you stick to certain pairs, especially if you're starting off, I don't know exactly your level of expertise, but in the beginning, I recommend just starting off with one pair and then understanding how that pair moves. And if you want to just stick to one pair your entire trading career, um, yeah, because one pair is all you really need. It's just sometimes one pair doesn't always present you an opportunity, so you will have to wait it out until like maybe it's choppy for like a week. So then next week, so you don't trade that entire week until the following week. Uh, but yeah, when you're in pairs, you can't go wrong with any pairs like Euro USD, any of the majors, GBP USD, USD JPY, NZD USD, like you should be fine with any of those major pairs. But sticking to one, mastering it, understanding the flow of the market, and then once you understand it, just just improve your win rates, notice things that you notice in the market that it can give you better win rates, better risk to reward too. Risk to reward is very important. I actually pull up an image here. Um, let me just pull it up here. Open with, there we go. It should pull it up. Okay. It was actually perfect because it'll lead towards my next part, which is part of the training portion. But yeah, so understanding risk to reward and win ratio is the most important part that you need to understand as a trader. Okay. Um, Now to aim for 1 to 5 risk to reward, or it's showing 5 to 1, so it's showing like profit 5, risk is 1. It's kind of like for every I like seeing it the opposite way. If you risk 1, you can make 5. Okay, that's what that means there. So if you have a 20% win ratio, that means out of 10 trades, you win 2 out of 10. You'll still be profitable with a 1 to 5 risk to reward. You can see right here, if you have a 1 to 4 and you're 20%, break even. So this chart right here, you can take a screenshot or whatever, but it just kind of gives you an idea. Like it's going to be better to have a higher risk to reward, so you can even be a shitty trader and still be profitable. This is what gives people the edge in trading. Apart from this is risk to reward, not risk to reward, risk management. It's the most important part of trading. Account preservation, keeping your account for as long as possible. Um, not over leveraging your trades. Don't risk too much per trade. Sticking to a game plan. That's what's going to keep you profitable long term. So, like you can see right here, a 1 to 2 risk to reward, and being 40% winning trader, you're still profitable. Profitable is where we want to be at. So, I would say the sweet spot is going to be around a 1 to 2, a 1 to 3. That's usually the sweet spot where you should be hitting 50% of your trades. But even if you're hitting 40%, or if you're doing 1 to 3 and you're hitting 30%, you're still profitable. So work on improving your win rates and work on having a good risk to reward. Okay. Now, 1 to 11 risk to reward. Trades like that, like this one that we have here, risk to reward 1 to 11. I pressed play earlier. Yeah, you could see like my stops were pretty tight, and I was aiming for this target down here. But yeah, so to be able to catch 1 to 11 risk to rewards, it's difficult, but anyone can do it. Like if I can do it, anyone can do it. You just need time in the market to understand when you should get in for these type of setups. And sometimes you won't hit it your first time. Maybe you won't hit it your second time. Maybe you won't hit it your third time. But then maybe your fourth one will hit it. Okay. And even if you're like, look, like going back to the screenshot here, 20% is still profitable at 1 to 5. Like, can you imagine what 1 to 11 is like? 1 to 11, you're profitable if you're 1 out of 10 trades. You could be a 10% winning trader on a 1 to 11 or 1 to 10 and still be profitable. So for me, that's not the case. Like if I'm aiming for 1 to 11, so far the past 2 trades that were 1 to 11, both of them hit. So my win rate is definitely higher up. I don't know exactly what the amount is, but so far my 1 to 11 trades has been closer to like around 100%, like in the 80s, 90s. So let's get into like the breakdown of how I was able to achieve that. Um, Let me actually show you guys. I'm gonna pull up my screenshots from earlier today. Actually, what I'll do is I'll share my entire screen because right now I'm sharing just like my tabs, but this way everyone can see on Zoom, and let me do that same on. Um, Entire screen. Okay. If you can see my entire screen, just put yes in the chat or one. Like if you can see my Discord as well, that's the main thing. I'm not seeing anything in the chat, so there we go. Okay. Uh, okay, so let me put this in full screen. And okay. my watch list. So this is provided for pro and elite members. I'm actually thinking about just doing elite people for this, and actually getting rid of pro in overall, just only having elite. Um, but basically for elite, you have like a private access where you get alerts, whether it be uh, my currency signals, crypto signals, and then stock signals. Um, so that'll be posted in there. And then my watch list. So this is when I'm trading live. So I have, I have a live trading area right here that I've been doing around 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Join it live. You can see me in here, and I'll post in my watch list as I'm like getting into a trade or something like that. So you can see it live as it's happening, and then I'll take screenshots and then post it in here. So you can see this is where I got in right here. See my entry there. And this was for a 1 to 11 setup. So you can see right there, 1 to 11. Right here, and then I'll update as well. So like this is where I'm potentially adjusting my stops depending on um, how markets are moving. So yeah, potentially adjusting stops there. Keep scrolling through. At this point, like the trade was long gone. Um, kind of came down, hit this level of support, came back up, hit this level of resistance, and then it continued to shoot back down. And then until finally it hit its 1 to 11 and even dropped further down. If we look at NQ, it dropped a bit further down. I took my profits there. I usually my I trail my profits to keep going further and further. So I maybe could have caught like I actually looked at it, probably could have caught like a bit more, but I was done with the trade. I had to leave the house. I didn't want to monitor this, so I just took my profits here. Um, excuse my language right there. Holy crap. Yeah, it was crazy, crazy drop that happened. Um, but yeah, I caught it at the very, very top. Okay. Um, and you can see like this other setup right here. And actually, I thought I was going to finish. I mentioned finish with a bang. I was going to finish the trade, but ended up seeing something really nice. And I was like, you know what? I'm not finished. So I actually caught this trade going up and I caught this trade going down. That's how sniper this was. This was an insane setup. So this was my entry right here. You can see at 10:15 a.m. It was a 1 to 7 setup right there. Um, what I'll normally do as it takes off and it reaches its previous high over here, I'll adjust stops to around break even so I for sure secure my profits. That's something you want to do. Uh, I mean, that's something that you could do. I don't want you to do everything I say is not financial advice. I don't want to do that whole script here, but do what you want with investing. It's up to you. You don't have to take my trades. Um, but yeah, so I'll show screenshots when I adjust my stops, everything live. So you can see as it's happening now. Posted that. I was up before all of this, all these new trades over here. I was already on 3 grand for the day. There was another setup right here, 1 to 4. I was aiming for 1 to 7 on this trade and ended up securing 1 to 4. You see, I was just trading, updating. Everything was today. You can see everything was happening today. I actually predict this right here. It was going to hit. Here's a screenshot. Look what happened. Price dropped down, kept dropping down, hit the profit target. You can see I actually didn't close out there. I'm trailing as it's coming down. So, I actually secured more than a 1 to 4 on that one, or 1 to 5. No, 1 to 5 is what I secured. Originally, I had a 1 to 4A risk to reward, and I secured a 1 to 5.5 by trailing my stops tighter and tighter. Um, but yeah, Farhan, you said, I want to thank Ricky. The morning affirmations about trading is on another level and help me in having a good state of mind, plus stick to my principles. Listen to it every morning when I go run, doing a lot for the community. May you be blessed with more. Thank you, Farhan. I appreciate the appreciation there. Uh, something about this is I don't need to do this, and but I enjoy doing this. And I actually don't make much from like helping people. I'm not actively marketing it. You see on social media, I'm not really posting too much about like you have to join and profits for the day. Like some days I'll post my profits, but try staying as private as possible and only sticking to like the people uh that do join in and they're serious, that are here taking the time out of their night to watch me live or their morning. Um, yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. And those affirmation videos, they're definitely another level. I don't do this every day, but for the most part, especially when like if I have a losing day, um, which I usually don't, but if I do have a losing day, I'll listen to the night of before I go to sleep and wake up in the morning to do my trading. I'll listen to like the hypnosis while I sleep, um, the hypnosis training. So it'll kind of get me in that mindset, and then uh, subconsciously while I sleep, it's actively working. And shoot, you know what I realized is I forgot to tell this guy. Oh, what's going on, Radic? I see you joined in on YouTube. Welcome in. I know Radic, it's morning over there because you joined the previous Zooms. You mentioned you're in New Zealand, if I'm not mistaken. Um, but yeah, so say you did a 1-to-7 setup, could we do a different ratio, same trade? If you did a 1-to-7 setup, could we do a different ratio, same trade? Yes, you could do whatever you want to do. You can do 1-to-2, 1-to-5, 1-to-4, one to whatever you want to do. You could do 1-to-1. Um, only thing though is like even for me, sometimes for the 1-to-7 setups, I don't finish at 1-to-7. I sometimes close out a little earlier. Um, and I close out a little earlier because it's like maybe in an area where there could be a rejection that can turn the trade from a downtrend to an uptrend. Where usually I would have like take profit one or take profit two, right? Think of 1-to-7 as I'm aiming for take profit three, like the final take profit. Uh, that's usually like what the bigger one is for. Um, like if I go back to these screenshots right here, like let me see if I can spot one. Or I actually mentioned it earlier. So like this was a trade right here I entered in. Um, okay, so you can actually see inside of here, like here's where I bought. You see the blue line right here? This blue up arrow. This blue up arrow is where I bought. So it's not actually right here. It was like a little bit earlier, but it's kind of like around that area. So I bought he no, that wasn't it. Was it? Yeah, it was it. My stops were not there. So that's hold on. Let me see where I'm at here. Okay. So I had my stops below this wick. I had my stops below this wick right here. And then I adjusted it tighter. So you could see I adjusted it. So I placed the buy here and then I adjusted my stops at this new wick over here. And I adjusted that stop once I had noticed that price reversed and it started going higher, doing higher highs up here. I adjusted my stops here. And then later on, I'm pretty sure I adjusted it at this low right here. Let me put my annotation tool so you guys can see. So I adjusted my low right in this area here, most likely for like a break even. I actually usually don't break even. I break, I adjust my stops to profit at least a little bit. Um, let me read your message here real quick. Yeah, I know how you operate, been following you since years, but the work done is like enjoy the rest of your night, guys. I have a long day ahead. Let's stay connected in this cool chat. Awesome. Yeah, enjoy your day. Um, but yeah, so yeah, I'll adjust as I start noticing that my um, price goes up. I usually adjust to its next low, and then as it goes up, so you can see I sold out right here. I sold out right here in this area, and most likely, and I'm almost positive about this. I sold out most likely right about uh, possibly like here. So it like closed me out there where it potentially was going to reverse. Closed out there, and I ended up buying again, like somewhere around here. Okay. Um, so kind of the reason for that is I don't want to, if this does continue to drop down, I don't want to stay in this trade. I want to secure my profits, secure this move right here, close out there, or close out wherever that was. And then if I notice that price is going into that upward momentum, I'm getting back into the trade and aiming for, higher targets. Like right here, I closed out right here, and then I re-entered right here. Yes, I could have like stayed in, but I wasn't sure if this was going to continue dropping down, right? So I'd rather secure, get in a little later, and then catch that even further. I caught that all the way until like here. I actually took off the take profit up there. It would have hit, so I could have secured all that profit, but ended up trying to hold it for as long as possible, and it ended up rejecting off that major area right there. So that's kind of how I'll look at the charts. Is I'll look at everything to just kind of see like what is it telling me? When should I get in? Whoops. Stop sharing my screen. Share it again. But yeah, let's get into a little bit of the strategy. I know we're about to approach the end of this. Let me just see if there's any last minute questions here. By the way, ZW888, are you still in the inside of here? You are, just let me know because I was going to go over something that I forgot to show you. Not, it's okay. We will continue. Okay, so you say it. Yeah, I actually forgot to go over like what's included in the back end. But I just remembered. So there's trading view indicators, private access indicators that you're going to get access to. So you would just claim your indicators inside of there. MetaTrader indicators, Forex training A through Z, which recently we started incorporating quizzes. So at the end of like once you finish something at the end of the section, you will be quizzed, and if you pass it, you move on to the next phase. You can see like down here, there's part one quiz right here. So yeah, there'll be quizzes that are now added in to just kind of help people out even better. Uh, yeah, there'll be stuff for crypto futures. The futures and options I'm creating more of, so there'll be more to go over. Uh, but yeah, I recently started transferring everything inside of this WAP platform. So um, most of my content and knowledge that I've had on another website is now like uploaded in here. So yeah, I would say like 90% of everything is already added in. So you'll definitely have lots of value. But there's going to be the watch list. Um, there's this thing that you get added, which is my free. Uh, it's like it's free, but it's not free. It's like a bonus. It's included when you join into the elite, but you get access to my no loss algorithm. Um, so you can see the trades actively being placed, and there's an algorithm that gives out signals, and you get access to like the trading logins, and you can see the trades that are being placed. You can also copy it automatically to your account, so it's extra value inside of there. Strategies on the trading view indicators, millionaire mindset. The one that Farhan mentioned earlier, one from the island, I believe he was talking about the affirmations from the hypnosis. So that's something that you're going to get access to. So it's some training. Here's the guide. Goes over like morning affirmations, sleep hypnosis, recommended books, millionaire mindset. These are all the mindset videos that I've personally gone through myself, and like, I'm just gonna go in here. Tons of videos that help you out with your mindset. So yeah, you can go through everything. But yeah, that's pretty much all that. Yeah, the main value behind this is going to be obviously like getting my trades, and then the training inside of here, and the private indicators that are going to be added. Yeah, so that's that there. Uh, Radix said, just want to ask where we should watch Technical Tuesday because I was late. Link on Zoom disappeared in the events. So shall I watch it on YouTube or on Discord? Um, so right now it's on 3 platforms. So whichever one you want, you can join in. Uh, and I'll see which one's going to be better overall. So like maybe Discord might be the best one. Like maybe it might be Discord with the Zoom link because I can do like events inside of Discord where you can go to it and you can click on it's under events tab right here. And then you can click on like the Zoom link right there to join into Zoom. Um, so yeah, whichever one works, whichever one you want to do. I would say Zoom is like the main one that I'm using that I see the questions first before like YouTube or Discord. So if you want the priority messages directly, it's going to be Zoom. Okay. I said I'm pumped to join, man. I have a homie that worked with you, and he had nothing but good things to say about you and your work. Awesome. That is awesome. Thank you. Whoever your homie is, tell him I said thank you. And hope to know who his name is because I would say I pretty much know most the people in here. Like especially if you join in consistently, I'll recognize your name and where you're from. Like Farhan, now I know which island he's from. I don't remember the name, but I know he's from island from another cross around the Maldives. So um, like Radek in the Netherlands, he's been coming consistently and waking up at like 4 a.m. just to join into these webinars. So like if you're here consistently, I'll recognize you, and we can chat it up, and very personal with my members. I saw MG on Discord, which I know that's Marge. Marge, she's amazing out in Florida. Yeah, made Marge is here. I know Christ, I know you as well. D, obviously, I know you. Yeah, so amazing people, that are around here, and we don't have like a huge, large amount of people. And I actually prefer quality over quantity personally. I don't care too much about like so many people and I don't know who everyone is. I'd rather know my members and have a tight knit community. But yeah, so real quick, I know it's 8:30. I'm probably gonna take about like 5 minutes on this final part here, which is getting into the exact strategy that I use for some of these 1 to 11 setups. And you can catch these setups pretty much anywhere. But main thing that I was looking at was, yeah, it was me playing with emojis, being here we go. Okay, where are what am I doing with these emojis? Um, okay, let me zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. 'Cause I was actually on the like 15-second looking at all these. If you actually see the difference between the screenshots there, you go back. Uh, yeah, so it kind of doesn't look like it because I was on the 15-second. Yeah, so main thing that I was looking at was I use one of my indicators here that I provide inside of like the elite area. It's actually right here. These New York session breakouts there. Um, Basically what I did was I added the 15-minute open of the New York session, getting the high and low. You can see this white line right here is coming across, right? So this play right here that I placed a buy, it was mainly because I noticed that price broke above this level, came back down, hit within this area, it's this 15-minute area, and then it rejected off this zone. Think of this as an entire zone here. Okay, so I'll just draw a box in there. Hit in here, didn't break below, and then came back the other way. You can actually see it engulf the opposite way. If I go down to the smaller time frame in that area, I'm gonna go down here, and I'm gonna go down to like the 15 second. All right. Look at how clear that looks. Downtrend, here's my resistance line that I had formed. And my entry for the buy was somewhere around here. I actually got in late. Surprising on this trade right here, I kid you not, I woke up late. Um, I woke up like, holy shit, I missed the market. Because it was like let's see, 7 a.m. over here. So it was like around 6:40, not 6:45, no. It was like around 6:50 that I woke up, somewhere around there. So I was just waking up, getting out of bed, come into my charts, and I see it hit this area, see this downtrend. I analyze everything within like 10 minutes and I place my trade over here. And could have gone in a little bit earlier, like probably over here. Actually, over here was a pretty decent trade. Probably could have got in like maybe a couple seconds earlier, but yeah, so ended up waking up within 10 minutes, made it like I think this trade was like a grand off of this trade. Um, yeah, so that was the main thing that I looked at was it hit this area, price rejected, and then went in the opposite direction. And the target that I was aiming for was, if you can see right here, this red area here, which is going to be provided as well sometime this week. but I aimed for like this area over here. So that was my main target. And yeah, you can see target one and target two was going to be all the way up there. So did it hit target two? It did not. Yeah. So I was already out of the trade. Already out of the trade there. I'm not sure why it's not showing it's not showing the up arrow, is down arrow when I placed the trade, but it was definitely right there. But yeah, so that's kind of the strategy behind that is I looked at the first 15 minutes, and what I've noticed just from looking at these 15 minutes is you you'll notice if you backtest like I'll just go back to another day's 15 minute. Why is my computer going slow? I'm actually upgrading my RAM to like 64 gigs here soon. Should be much faster. I don't know why it's slowing down like that. Might be internet, but where is it? Okay, right here. So this 15 minutes right here. Do you see how well there's multiple areas where it breaks above, hits like support, and then bounces above, right? Or it kind of comes up as resistance and then it drops down. Uh but yeah, so like right here, kind of like broke out, hit, and then dropped down. So it's just kind of an area where you'll notice price hit and then either reject or just go into that direction. So that's kind of what I'll do with that 15 minute. That's not the only thing that I'm looking at. There's multiple things. But but yeah, I'll show you that one there, which was a 1 to, I think that was a 1 to 4 setup there. No, 1 to 2.5. So not a crazy risk to reward, but I'll go over to the 1 to 11 one. Okay. So if you see these two lines right here, that was the 15 minute. Price went up to that area and it gave me this right here, this three. The threes usually indicate when market goes from an uptrend to a downtrend. And what I was noticing in this area was price did not want to go above this area, right? It gave the three right here. It gave the three right there, and I actually noticed it kind of spiked up and then it came instantly back down. So it doesn't want to break above. It's most likely going to drop down. And usually like if you can spot the three and you put your stop loss at where the three is at, and that's the area where market reverses, that's usually an area that stop loss never like goes up into threes. You can see right here, it almost pulled back up into that area of the three up there, but it didn't. Almost got close. And you can see I circled out right here, 1, 2, 3, multiple areas. You can see it gave a diamond right there, diamond, 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 this red diamond. That means it's rejecting off of this, off of these highs right here. These are all the rejections that are happening. So many rejections. What that's letting me know is buyers are not breaking through. Sellers should be pushing the price down. And these, I explained earlier, but these boxes right here represent volume where price makes a significant move from this point down here, this point down here. Same for down here and up here. It goes down and then comes up. So you can see like these green areas are like levels of support, and then these red areas are levels of resistance. So we can see it just, and it actually retouched over here. I didn't draw it out, but let me draw that out here. It retouched over here again, and then it continued to drop down. So I actually took out early over here and then I re-entered somewhere like up here. it wasn't like perfect. Like I think I took a couple L's thinking that this was going to be like the reversal, and then this was ended up being the reversal, so I ended up taking this one all the way down. Um, yeah, so that's kind of what I'll look at is I see it's within this 15 minute, and then especially if it breaks below that 15 minute, and it did right here. Actually, you could see before it even happened, I predicted that it was going to break and come up hitting like resistance. So it did it right there. And then it was going to continue to drop down. Because that's usually what happens with this 15 minute is when it drops below and candles need to close below, comes back up, hits like resistance, and then that's like a sniper entry where you could have caught a trade right here for a short, like another short. I already caught it all the way up there, but this could have been another area where we could have had stop loss like that. And you can see it's really tight, and then you can aim for like major levels. So like I aimed for this low mainly because exactly. Yeah, I aim for this low right here. And this was like the more conservative low. There could have been like other lows, but this was one right here, and then this was my other one that I was mainly thinking of, but I was almost like, I don't know if it's gonna reach that far. It was already basically there, but this was that next target. I definitely hit way past it. Um, I actually predicted that it was gonna hit here, then bounce up, which it did. Because it was a strong level of support. If you see over here, strong level of support. These are the lows of this session, and then price hit these lows of the sessions and then just went the opposite way. So I was done trading by then. I already placed way too many trades for today. Uh, but yeah, that's kind of what I did. So I sniped it out. I looked at, okay, it doesn't want to break this high. It's just one come back. Over here, it kind of breaks out a little bit, but it fakes it out and it gives me a three up here. And then, yeah, I'm just kind of selling here, stops up here, and then I'm trying to catch like a big trade. If it takes a loss, oh well, right? I try to get in there in another area where I can get another 1 to 11, 1 to 7, 1 to 5, 1 to 9. So yeah, that's kind of what I do there. It is amazing you're able to work on 15-second time frame. Yeah, when you see it live, it's crazy, right? You're almost like, what the heck? And what's crazy is you notice when buyers and sellers are pushing in, when they're pushing the market, you notice it a lot. Like right here, yeah, I noticed it had like a strong green candle and then it like pushed back down and then it like pushed down and it pushed down again. And then but when you see like strong push or like right here, it had like an engulfing a bearish engulfing candle on this rejection right here. That could have been another area to sell right there. Um, here it kind of wicked into this area and then wicked back down. So it showed buyers in and then sellers pushed down. So multiple areas, and when you understand patterns and market momentum, like lower low, lower high, those are areas where you could just get in. And I was just, if you saw this live, I believe Radic was one that saw it live. I was adjusting stops, adjusting. It was this one was the one that made me the most right here because I exited early over here and then it came up and I believe I took like a L right here and then um, it was like a couple little like L's, But then right here, I believe I sold, I think it was somewhere like here. I sold and then I had my stops up here, didn't hit. And then as price kept going down, I adjusted up here. Then I kept adjusting like over here, then over here, and it just kept going down. And then it did this whole move right there. I actually kept my stop there because I wanted to see it because it made like chop around this level of support. So I kept my stops there and then it just kept dropping. And then I adjusted my stops up here. You can see I had potential adjustment of stops. So I ended up adjusting the stops there. And then I think I adjusted it there and then it just kept going. I adjusted it like here, I'm sure. And I adjusted it like here, here. Usually any of these green candlesticks, I'll adjust it to. So after it comes up and then it comes back down, adjust right there. Green, up, come down, adjust right there. So this one just kept dropping and dropping and dropping. And like here, come up, adjust right there. Here, come up, green, adjust right there. Adjust right there after we see the red come down. So here, green came up. I could have adjusted here. This is what I'm talking about. I could have held longer, but I had to leave. So I could have adjusted my stops there. So it could have profited a little bit right there. Came down, uh, came back up. Stops could have been adjusted here. Came down, came back up. I believe on this one, no, I wouldn't have been out because I would have adjusted the stop when this red one came down. I see the wick came up here, but I would have adjusted it when red comes down. So it would have been here, none of these touched. Would have adjusted, see green, red come down. I would have adjusted here. At this point, I was already out of my computer. So it would have closed out right here. I would have caught that. It would have been a 1 to, it would have been a 1 to 20 risk to reward. That would have been my biggest play as of now. I don't think I've hit a 120. 1 to 11 right now is kind of like at the, I think I've done a 1 to 15 or 1 to 14. Um, but yeah, it's difficult to catch these bigger plays, but it's definitely possible. Uh, but yeah, that's it. I am done for tonight's session. This is way too long. I extended way longer than I should have. But thank you guys for tuning in. If there's any last minute questions that you have, just let me know. Last minute questions. Might end up taking a little nap before this London news, and then I'll probably trade a little bit, then be back in the morning. Awesome. Thank you guys for joining in. Hopefully that kind of showed you guys a strategy. But there will be more things inside of the training area that kind of goes over like things of price action that I'm looking for. This is just kind of like a general overview what I'm looking at, uh, but yeah, soon I would I'll actually try tonight. Tonight I'm gonna try to upload this volume one and then have possibly a training this Thursday for that. So I'll try to work on that right now. Um, yeah, so anyways, ending the session. Thank you guys for joining in. See, there's a chat here. See you in the morning, wizard. Yeah, I'm a wizard, huh? Ended up I was playing a video from Harry Potter. It was like such a geeky thing of me to do, but being a wizard, if you remember from like the first Harry Potter where named Hagrid or whatever mentions to Harry Potter that he's a wizard. Well, anyways, it's like magic powers where you kind of predict where the market's going. Doing this way too long where I can kind of tell when things are going to happen. And usually to be shorting like NQ or ES, it's hard to be shorting. It's actually better to be going long for these type of things. Just because like when you look at long term, just look at where is if you look at long term, like everything is mainly just going up, right? Has maybe some drops, but overall bullish. So to catch those shorts, it's harder than catching the longs. But yeah, thank you guys for joining in. We will be live tomorrow at around 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on the Discord. So see you guys there. Peace.